Thank you so much, Tajuddin. All right, so let's get started. And thank you again for your patience. We apologize for the tech issues. The topic is self-confidence, unleashing your inner potential in tech. My name is Adamu Muhammad Dankore. Please, if you can, I'm gonna send you a link. Go to this link and get started with basically one question that I'm gonna ask at the end of my talk, which is what's your biggest fear in tech in your tech journey right now. So I'm gonna send that link somewhere in the chat. Like Man Tajuddin started introducing, my name is Adamu Muhammad Dankore. My surname is Muhammad. My middle name is Dankore. I'm a father, husband. I like to think myself as a builder. Sometimes I do a little bit of teaching here and there. I was born and raised in northern Nigeria, precisely in Bauchi, but I grew up mostly in Abuja, where I went to school. I'm currently living in Iowa, United States, and I'm a software engineering consultant at my own company. I like to think myself as an indie hacker. I don't know how many of you know what this term is. This term basically means someone who builds stuff for consumption. Normally, like a solo person, you build stuff and then you sell it or things like that. Sometimes I mentor, like Malin Tajuddin hinted, and I do other things too, like I help people with online legal paperwork, and I also help with admissions to foreign admissions. I enjoy soccer. I enjoy playing I enjoy playing table tennis and movies and talking about philosophy. What I plan to do with you in order to for me do a little bit of justice to this topic is to share with you my journey. Like Man and Tajuddin said, I am not like a formal like software engineering candidate. I did not study computer science in school, so I still suffer honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you from that self confidence. So it's a huge part of my life being being confident in what I know and what I can deliver. So I arrived in the US some years back to go to medical school, and but that didn't work out. So after I graduated, I started working as a chemist. Um, Around 2018, I wrote my first line of code, um, and a year later, actually, it's like about 6 months, I got my first client project for free. So and then in 2021, I established my own software company. But between all of this, between when I started writing my first line of code to now, I have worked for other companies as well. So, like I hinted, I came to the US to go to medical school. Medical school didn't work out, so I had to find something else to do. So I was like, okay, I had chemistry degree. What can I do? It turned out I can work in the lab. So I started working in the lab as a chemist. Um, I faced a lot of uncertainty in my chemistry field at that time because that's not what I wanted to do. I literally came to the US to do medicine. That didn't work out, and now I am in a completely different field that I didn't dream of being in. So that is my first time being in a field that I had no idea, I didn't plan for. So let me go back to that previous screen. In 2018, I started coding, thanks to a friend of mine who introduced me um, to coding by telling me that he went and joined a boot camp, and that's how he switched also from chemistry to coding. At that time, I couldn't we had our first child, so I couldn't go for a 6 months boot camp. So what I had to do was started learning somehow at home, and that's how my whole thing started. I started on free code camp. I will go to my chemistry work, come back. Sometimes during my chemistry work, when I'm free, I will be doing some coding, learning some coding. So when I started learning up to my first project, there was something called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome basically in summary means it's a psychological warfare between yourself and your projected image, or what people see you as. It's basically self-doubt. You think you are not good enough. That's what imposter syndrome means. So for me, quite a few things. From when I started learning to when I got my first client, part of what was going in my mind was, am I good enough? Was it too late for me to start this career? I don't have a computer science degree. When I watch people do stuff online, or when I see a software on GitHub that someone did, I'm like, can I even do this? Like, and it's still really, like, it's still wow me when I see people build software. But the difference is I have gained, some confidence and understanding of the field. So that's kind of when the imposter syndrome started to set in. And it all has to do with self-confidence, really. No one will be better at anything. So there's always going to be someone that is better. Even what we do in tech, there are so many aspects of tech, right? There is the web, there is the mobile, there is the desktop, there is AI. So, like, there's always going to be something that I don't know, you don't know, and so on and so forth. So, how did I started kind of overcoming or gaining this confidence? I started building in public, and I started my YouTube channel. I started mentoring, really. Like I said, hey, this is where I'm at. If you want to learn, come, I will tell you how I did it. And I focused on progress, not perfection. Like, what have I done today more than yesterday? So that kind of focus. So that was really the beginning for me of overcoming or gaining confidence. I would say, like, full confidence, just gaining that confidence. I realized that there's a power in building stuff. And to gain more confidence, I basically have to know my trade. If you don't take anything away from what this conversation, go and know your tools, go and know your trade, know your stuff, whatever IT field or area or specialization you go to, just know it. That is single-handedly what will boost your confidence. So thankfully I realized this early on, and because I really enjoy this, software is the first field in my life that I really, really like. When I come home, I do it. So I started building. One of my earliest failure in tech was a project called Home Away from Home. I built it, we reached some success, and then we failed. And we failed because I can't build at that time. And this was back in 2015, way before I started writing really my first code. The lead tech left the project and I couldn't continue. I couldn't code. So I basically killed the project. But I learned a lot. I learned about, I saw HTML. I saw how, my partner in this project use version control. So, like, all this earlier introduction to what is now really a standard in the software engineering world, I started getting those experience. So a huge win for me. And then from now on, it was just building up till today. I really enjoyed building, and this it's happening till date. I'm building. I am building. I'm not stopping. There are some projects that I am getting a little bit of money from. I have open source, so I don't get money. And then I have my own consultancy company, which, like, I will talk a little bit later. Actually, when I started, I used to take clients for free. Like, do you need anything? I'll build it for you for free. But now I can do that without getting paid. So I have not only gathered that confidence that I can deliver what you want, a little bit, right? A little bit of confidence. But I have also started building like a network of trust. People that get value from what I do for them. So one other thing that I want to bring into this topic about really your confidence is how fast or slow of a learner like I am. I would say I'm definitely not a fast learner. I'm a slow learner, so I need to take my time. I have this thing to take, like, to help me with this, right? Which is repetition. Like, I would watch or do something over and over and over again so that I can compensate for being slow to learn. I'm also a visual learner. I'm not a text or speech learner. Like, you can talk to me if you don't, like, visually, if I don't see something, or you don't give me like good analogies, then you may probably lose me. So so that is something that I think people should be aware of, like what kind of learner are you, basically your learning style. Why is this important? It's important because then you will find a way to overcome that. That is why it's important. So that you don't say, oh, I am trying to learn this, but I'm not learning, right? And that is kind of making your self confidence tank, right? So, but once you realize kind of what kind of learner you are, then you can supplement it. You can find a way to overcome it, to increase your confidence. And there's one other thing of being a generalist or specialist in tech. I'm not a specialist. I'm definitely a generalist. So, like, I have decent understanding of, especially like in, on the web, mobile decks. Like, I can visually, like, explain to you like what each part of the web, what they do, decent. But, like, I'm not a specialist, right? There are people that literally specialize on Java alone. They don't know anything else other than Java. And, like, there's so much I can tell you or do in Java, and there's so much I don't know. So that is something also to be aware of, so that you can remind yourself, okay, the reason why the other person is this, or the reason why I am not this, is, I'm not concentrating and specializing in one thing. So I think that would help you put your self confidence in perspective. So, like I said, the the cups of this presentation is build, 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 build. Like, over the years, for me, there are four areas that I am concentrating: side projects, open source, content creation, and work. Work include work that I've done for people, like other companies, being employed as an employee, or work as, my own company. And then content creation, if you can, right? Like I'm doing right now. I teach, like, intro to programming, mostly in Hausa language. I do have, like, some content in English, but I want to concentrate in this field that I think needs one, which is Hausa. I do open source. And I have my own side projects. This is a project, like, for my, when I mean by side projects, like, I mean like something that I consume either in my household, or like, I built a website for my secondary school class that we could use as a way to connect. I consider that a side project. So that's something to consider. But please, please build, build, build. So now, as far as, like, what would be some resources that over time, my time in tech, that has been useful in learning and growing, definitely YouTube, Free Code Camp, and now AI. Right? With AI, especially, your imagination is the limit. And then community groups. You can go to X, formerly Twitter, and find community groups, like specific community groups. It could be like Node.js or WordPress, and you follow them, right? Reddit. It's another good resource to kind of, keep abreast of what is happening in your chosen area. Facebook as well. And then mentorships, right? You can find mentors that um will like will kind of carry you along. Um like Maletajuddin rightly mentioned, and I still do this mentorship. The only difference is right now it's paid because I don't have time to do it unpaid, unfortunately. So I do mentor, but it's paid, and basically, I carry you along and help you whenever I can. So you can find mentorship again is a resource to help you in your tech to build that confidence in your tech journey. So one thing you can do today is choose a project, set a 30, give yourself a 30, give yourself 30 days to do something, right? Talk to someone to hold you accountable or post it on social media. You can say, I'm building something, I have 30 days, just to keep yourself honest. Document your progress, inform your accountability partner about your progress or document it or on social. And then at the end, share your journey, share how you feel. That might be something that the purpose of this screen is to get you out there, if you haven't already. What is the confidence formula? It just does those small wins and consistency, like you do today. Whether you fail or you win, you do tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you have learned something a little bit. That is a win. And that consistency, I think over time, it just really grows your confidence. So small wins and consistency definitely builds that confidence, at least for me. All right. So I've been talking. It's time to do a little bit of exercise. I've shared this link with you on the other one. So let me share this link here. One biggest fear currently in your tech journey, and we will come together and transform it into a goal. Like, what can you do today to take care of that one problem? So, the reason why I'm doing it this way so that it can be unknown, so we don't have to know who you are. So please feel comfortable. This is unknown, and share with us. We'll have like 5 minutes or so. So I'm gonna keep quiet and just wait. All right, we have 8 responses, and I think that's more or less the number of people here. So are you? Does anyone still needs time? If not, we'll just continue. Okay, so it looks like no one needs time. So I'm gonna pull our answers, and then we can kind of do a live exercise here, which is exciting. Are coming in. All right, so let's start with the top one: upgrading myself and getting employed. Please feel free to unmute yourself because this is a collective work. Um, what do you think this person? What is the one thing that you would tell this person that they can start doing now? Okay, so I can just kind of go. So upgrading myself and getting employed. Again, build, and one of the other thing I will add is start getting your projects done on GitHub and your resume. Since you want to focus on getting employed, GitHub, resume, and LinkedIn. We'll go to the next one. My biggest fear is how to become a self-potential in tech. How to become opportunity opener for people. Depending on what you want to do, whether you want to have your own business or work for someone else, or help other people. I would say if you want to become something, right? So let's say you want to have your own, tech business. Really start doing it now. That's what I would say to this person. Start doing it now. You will learn during the process. And maybe it's free, but the projects you will get will be when you will learn. That's one really nice thing about tech. You are learning when you are building. Having confidence in what I know. That is, that's the whole topic of this conversation. So I feel you. Like I said, that is something I still struggle. I'm not gonna lie. When I see engineers that will just do things, they're like they know things. I used to work with someone who had 32 years experience, and they just know things. So, but like, when I put the number of years in perspective, like, okay, that's fine, like, so build, 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 kind of know where you belong, build, build, build. Next, becoming an expert savvy. I've always dreamed of in tech, despite despite tech being a career switch after more than 10 years of being an administrator. My fear is, how could this be possible? Honestly, like I told you guys, I'm a slow learner. And if I would do it, you can absolutely do it. Just keep building, be consistent. I know you know this, but there is nothing else that beats building. If you don't know what to build, you are struggling with ideas to build, maybe this might be another topic, to present. You can talk to me, you can talk to people here, but build, build, build. The more you build, the more you become confident in yourself. Public speaking and understanding code complexities. So public speaking is something that, I know I'm not perfect. I struggle with it, but maybe, you can take it head on, right? Maybe, we could have this again, and you could volunteer yourself to talk about a topic. But get, like, really, they say there's no better way to learn how to swim than to be in the water, right? I don't recommend this, but that's it's just a saying. But yeah, just put yourself out there and see. Maybe that pressure will kind of really help you learn. And then understanding code complexities. Um, like, one thing that helps me with understanding code complexities is understanding what the project does. So, like, if you give me a code, like, the first thing I want to know is, what does this code accomplishes? Is it, you know, is it a lambda, and what is the lambda doing, right? Is it a REST endpoint? What is it doing? Is it some algorithm to do something fast? So, like, do what? Why? So, understanding that broad topic, then really the code, I think once you have that kind of higher level of what the code does, I think it really, really helps. It really, really helps, at least for me. And obviously, like, knowing the language. Like, if I don't know Rust, right? If someone gives me anything in Rust, even if I understand what the high level code is doing, I don't know. Like, I can't read the code. So obviously it's there, but I find that understanding the overall what the goal accomplishes helps me, and putting it in perspective, right? Landing a high paying job in tech. As much as I love tech, high paying job, it comes with one of my motivation in tech. Then I have this, that what if the high paying job do not fortune coming? Like, basically, yeah, high paying job, absolutely. Um, like, you all know, tech is one of the highest, paying field. Even right now, even with AI, if you still want to get there, like, adjust, right? If you are a junior dev and no work, then find out the field that people are hiring junior devs. Right now, machine learning. Go into it, learn it, and keep learning, keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. Like we've talked about, and if you know your trade, you will get the high paying job. That is one of the things I like about tech. Doesn't gatekeep, meaning, like, there's no certificate, right? You don't need a certificate to go in. The only barrier is you yourself. So adjust if necessary. Build, 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 build. My biggest fear is securing a gig. We've talked about this in the past here. So, fear of not getting it right. Oh yeah. That one, fear of not getting it right, is definitely one thing that at least I have experienced. Especially, like, in one of my previous companies, we do pair programming, which means, like, you and I will code. And in all the places I've worked, I've always been the junior guy. So, like, when I'm coding and they're watching me, I am thinking, the code I'm writing might not be as optimized as what they would write, or like fear of making mistake. So that is there. What has helped me, or what is helping me right now, is really building. It's really knowing my trade. That will get rid of that for sure. Getting a job as a family man after determining to quit my current job to learn tech. I wonder why you quit your work before securing the tech job. For me, I secured the tech job before I left my chemistry. But you might have a reason. Maybe you have some savings, right? But that would be a good question to ask yourself. Public speaking. At some point, code complexity become challenging. Yes, they do. Oh man, they do. That's why understanding that high level really helps. We've talked about public speaking, having to become a pro like others and getting edge as others in the industry. Yes, yes, yes. Oh man, like the more you get into this field, honestly, I am not. I've been in this since 2018, and I just wow. I just get this wow feeling of what people know. There are a lot of smart people out there that are not on Twitter, not on social media, um, and they are always going to be. Choose your field. Tech is broad. You can be a generalist or specialist, but there's always going to be. Your edge will be, if you're a generalist, find a generalist job and you will be on edge. If you are a specialist, especially like specialist, like you tend to kind of be a pro in that one area, but then you are not as pro as the other areas. All right, I'm gonna stop here. We have less than 7 minutes before we need to get another link. So I'm going to go back to. All right, so you can connect with me on X at Adamu M Dankore, or YouTube at Dankore1. I have my website dankore.com, or you can email me at adamu at dankoresoft.com. Thank you again. Your potential is absolutely limitless. Like, really, whoever you are, you might be a slow learner like me, you might not have been to school for computer science. What determines your limit? It's you. Like, this is something you've heard all over and over, and it's true. You absolutely don't know what you can do. If you put a limit to what you can do, you are not doing justice to your brain. Our brain has limitless power. So this is something that so I'm just reminding you. Special thanks to Cypherdevs, Aman and Tajuddin, for organizing this. Any questions? And this brings an end to the presentation.